This afternoon, it was what Donald Trump refused to say about his plan to, quote, conquer Greenland from another NATO member that our allies are likely to view as the most serious escalation to date. Watch.
Mr. President, do you commit to not militarily engaging NATO partners?
I don't talk about that.
Mr. President,
You're not willing to commit to not attacking a NATO partner?
You urge protesters.
It's our own colleague, Von Hilliard, asking Donald Trump if he would simply put off the table attacking a NATO ally. He clearly refused. Donald Trump has also threatened to use his wildly unpopular tariff policy and tool as pressure against countries that don't, quote, go along with whatever he wants. Meanwhile, everything we've heard even before today, including Donald Trump's refusal to rule out the use of military force against a NATO ally, has clearly alarmed Congress. A bipartisan group of lawmakers is in Denmark today in an attempt to lower tensions, as one Republican House member, Don Bacon, is warning he'd, quote, lean toward impeaching Donald Trump if he were to order a military invasion of Greenland. I want to bring in former top official at the Department of Justice, MS Now legal analyst Andrew Weissman, and political analyst, the former Senator Claire McCaskill. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know how to form a question about this. It's bad bleep crazy. It's wildly unpopular. You've got a Republican who says, I'll impeach you if you do it. And when handed this low-hanging fruit of, will you just rule out war with a NATO ally, Donald Trump says no. Andrew Weissman, where are we?
I'd like everyone to think about the message to Russia. Russia has engaged in an unprovoked attack on Ukraine. The Congress heretofore has viewed that Republicans and Democrats. It used to be sort of Republican orthodoxy to defend Ukraine in the face of Russia. But this is sending a message that what Russia is doing is what America is going to do, and what China could do with Taiwan. This sort of might makes right view of the world where you blow off the United Nations Charter, you blow off the sense of the rule of law internally, domestically, and externally, is what leads to global chaos and a world that's not civilized or at peace. That could not be worse for our country. Even if you have a sort of America first view of the world, there's a reason that I think you're seeing so many people react to this latest outrage by the president.
I mean, Andrew, though, isn't the apple to apple like Russia attacking Belarus or like Venezuela attacking Cuba? I mean, this is like America, a member of NATO, the only NATO nation to actually ask anyone to go to war with us after we were attacked after 9/11. Attacking one of our own, attacking someone within our coalition. It feels worse in some ways than regional aggression that you're talking about.
You might be right. The reason I was thinking of Ukraine is because it is going on now, because Russia has the internal myth that Ukraine was always theirs and was really part of Russia, and that it's necessary to their national security. And so whether it is, apples to apples or you're right that there's a better analogy, the message to other superpowers and to other countries is the same. Whether it's identical or worse, it is still saying that the whole idea of the League of Nations, the whole idea of, I'm dating myself, or the United Nations, is a thing of the past. And I mean, you really do have to tie it to Venezuela, where every reputable expert who I know has viewed that as a clear violation of international law and a violation of the UN Charter. And this would be, equal, if not worse, to use your analogy, by what he's saying here, and extremely dangerous in terms of the world at large.
Claire, we run out of, I think, sometimes ways to describe how off the grid Trump is. And that's where he is. There's no appetite in public opinion for this in America. I think upward of 80% of Americans oppose it. The 2 to 4% who support it don't articulate a rationale. There just might be reflexive Trump backers who think he must have a reason. But we also assume that people won't understand or appreciate what the destruction of NATO means, and I think that's unfair, right? I think the American people, you go to a baseball game and they'll honor a veteran of World War II, and they get up and people stand up and they put down whatever they're doing and they applaud and they listen to the story. I mean, it is a fabric of our country to honor and revere the veterans of World War II and to honor and revere what was defeated. And I know there's a lot of counterfactuals that, it's that there are people celebrating Nazis and they're neo-fascists and that's all true. But I think the idea that Trump is just going to cross this other norm and not just pull America out of NATO, which was the constant tension as told by the national security folks who went in Trump 1.0, but he's not going to rule out attacking a NATO ally, and that the country won't absolutely lose its mind, is the biggest political miscalculation to date of this second term.
I think it is. And I think what you have here, Nicole, is you have a man who is radically insecure. And you have a toxic and deadly combination of a very insecure man who is in command of the most capable military in the world. He's surrounded himself with sycophants that are telling him every day what he wants to hear. And in his head, what he did in Venezuela was way cool. It was great. I was able to go in there and command them to do this, and they were able to go in and grab these people, and look what our military could do. And that's what he's into. He doesn't think he needs anybody, Nicole. And the dangerous part of this, the most dangerous part of this, is the permanent damage he is doing to America's reliability on the world stage. The destruction of NATO is way more than symbolic, because what it's really saying is nobody in the world can trust us anymore.
Yeah.
That's a very dangerous thing for national security. It's a very dangerous thing for Americans. And I do think most Americans get it, especially those that will control elections. And those Republicans who are upset about this, they better get busy, or they're going to have a wipeout like hasn't been seen in American politics in some time if Donald Trump goes through with this and they don't speak out and try to stop it.
Right, and they were on a ticket with a guy that promised no more foreign entanglements, no forever wars. He's literally threatening war with 3 countries.